Hi Year 11, so I'm going to talk to you again about Medicine Paper 1 and we're going to focus on the 16 mark question today. So in your PPE you will be doing obviously a 16 mark question on your medicine paper. Well, on every paper that you do, but this is the first paper. So remember, just a quick revision of the layout. Paper 1 layout, you've got two sections. Section A is all your Western Front, medicine, trench warfare, etc. And this is your skills section. So you've got your how useful question, which there's a video on this, and then there's how could you follow up a source question. So 2 and 2B really test your historical skills. Section B is your knowledge and your essay writing, in particular your 16 mark question, which we're going to focus on today. So remember, on your exam, it will appear to you like this. It's either going to be question 5 or question 6. It shows you two 16 mark questions. You only answer one. So you pick the one that you think you've got an opinion on, because you need to write your judgments, and you pick the one that you can write the most about, the most knowledge about. So just for example's sake, I'm going to go with this one today, 6. You may feel like you're better at 5. If you want to have a go at 5, then by all means have a go on your own after watching this demo, because it's the same structure, you'll benefit from the essay structure, but with 6 I'm going to go through knowledge for this as well. So if you do have a go at any of these questions, make sure you show your teachers as evidence of your revision. It's very important that, because then you can get feedback. Right, so we're going to go into this question. So in the years C1800, so the year 1800 to present day, the work of Pasteur was the most significant development in understanding the causes of illness. So that is your statement, and then it comes with how far do you agree? Explain your answer. And it does give you some bullet points that you might want to consider in your answer. Remember, you basically need to talk about multiple themes, at least 3 themes within this answer, within the essay, so that you're not capping yourself in terms of your marks. So this question targets your AO1, which is knowledge and facts, and mainly AO2. As you can see, there's 10 marks for that. So you can only get so many marks for good subject knowledge. The emphasis in this question is your judgment making skills, your ability to analyse, and obviously your ability to explain, analyse, explain, be the synonymous. So remember, using those phrases, this is significant because as a result of this meant that, this led to, this was significant because it then led to this. My judgment is, overall, I believe. So, with your judgment as well, really assert your opinion in what you believe. Try to convince the examiner that your opinion is correct. I suppose there's no right or wrong answer really for a 16 mark question, because as long as you can provide sufficient and accurate evidence to support your points, then your judgment is what you make of it. So just remember that, really assert your judgments. Just a quick understanding of what is required. So you're levelled in history, and then each level represents your marks. So level 3 and level 4 is where you want to be if you want your grade 6s and above, really. Any lower than that, and then you're looking at grade 5s and lower than that. So I'm just going to zoom in on the 13 to 16. Even if you're getting 13 marks, which is low level 4, you're still in that grade boundary. You're still in that level boundary, which allows you to open up into those grade 6s beyond. So what's required for 13 to 16 marks on this question? Well, a lot of AO2, as you can see, and part of your AO2 is directly, linking your explanations back to the focus of the question each time. And then in terms of your AO1, you need wide-ranging subject knowledge, that covers, you know, a broad range of themes. Remember, you have to show different sides of an argument as a historian, so you need to draw on all elements of knowledge. More AO2, your judgment is fully justified. It's not wishy-washy. You get straight to the point. What do you firmly believe in regards to the statement in the question? And it says here, no access to level 4, so you won't get access to 13 marks if you do not go beyond aspects prompted by these bullet points, which I'll show you again on the next slide. Okay, so I said we're going to work with this question today. These are your points. Germ theory and DNA can be used as themes when discussing this question. You know, obviously Louis Pasteur himself is a theme. You know, anything that links into that question topic. So the first thing you do is break the question down. So I've tried to do that with these red lines here. So 1800 to present day is the time period. If you write outside of that time period, you are not answering the question, and you won't lose marks, you just won't gain them. Okay, so they don't, say if you've already got like some marks, like 10 marks, let's say, the examiner won't go, right, they've written something wrong there, so I'm going to deduct 2 marks. It just means you won't get any more marks if you're writing outside of the time period. So that is, you know, late industrial period to the modern day. And then it talks about the work of Louis Pasteur, so that's part of your topic. And then it's saying that was the most significant development, the most important development in understanding the causes of illness. So it wants you to focus on causes of illness, and within this you would talk about other developments to do with causes of illness in that time period. So remember, your other developments are the other part of the essay, the other part of the story, so to speak. So, method. Number 1, start with an introductory judgment, no more than a couple of lines. 2, identify reasons that agree or disagree with the statement, but end section by linking back to the question. And it's up to you what you start with. You might want to start by going on about Louis Pasteur's work and why that was marvellous, or why that was a significant development in causes of disease, and then you do the same again. So if you've done agree in this section, you'd focus on knowledge that challenges the statement in this section. Again, though, trying to link back to the question. And then you end with a justified judgment. Now try to make your judgment, you know, consistent all the way through, and really try to impress the examiner by asserting your judgment here. You might start to compare and summarise Louis Pasteur's work with all the other developments you've discussed throughout the essay, but say which one you think is more important consistently. Right, so I'm going to use the method with a model answer now. So obviously remember, number 1 is start with an introductory judgment. So this is my example. Right, so this is my essay. You might have a totally different idea on what you want your essay to be, but this is how I would do it, but this is just me. So I've said in my judgment, I agree that Louis Pasteur's work was the most significant development with regards to the cause of disease between 1800 and 1900, and this is where my judgment kicks in. But I would argue that there have been more significant developments since the turn of the 20th century, so between 1900 and modern day, with regards to identifying other causes of disease. So once that is my introductory judgment, I'm saying it is the most significant development in terms of that 100 years there, but there are more significant developments from 1900. And, you know, that is a refined judgment. I'm using the word but to assert my judgment. Right, so identify reasons that agree or disagree with the statement, but end section by linking back to the question. So I'm going to agree, first of all, with the statement. Firstly, to agree with the statement, Pasteur proved that illness was not caused by spontaneous generation. Oh, there's AO1. Or by miasma. he did this through experimentation, AO1, which is subject knowledge, and this allowed him to establish the germ theory. I could have said germ theory in 1861, more AO1. Pasteur proved that food spoiled because of contamination by invisible bacteria, not because of spontaneous generation, AO1 again. Right, as a result of this, it allowed other individuals, such as Joseph Lister, to apply this knowledge to surgical methods and resulted in antiseptic surgery. Right, so this is where I'm trying to explain his importance, so that's AO2. Yes, surgery is to do with treatment, but without identifying the cause, we wouldn't have that type of treatment. So as long as you link what you're saying to the question, even if it's not about causes, this is about treatment. As long as it does link. So if it hadn't have happened, if Pasteur's experiments hadn't have happened, we wouldn't now have this antiseptic surgery, which then went on to aseptic surgery. I'm doing another paragraph to agree, because I think it suits. So secondly, it can be argued that Pasteur's work laid the foundations, which is an AO2 statement, for other 19th century microbiologists such as Robert Koch, AO1 again. Pasteur's work allowed Koch to identify the specific microbes causing various diseases, such as microbes for tuberculosis and cholera. Linking to this, Pasteur's work also supported Dr. John Snow's work from the 1850s. So I'm really focused on the impact of Pasteur's work here, AO2. Pasteur's germ theory formed the basis of an explanation of how cholera was spread by polluted water, making sense of Snow's work on the Broad Street pump, which had not been fully understood before. So what I'm saying there is, because of Pasteur, it allowed more of a scientific understanding on how these diseases were being caused, which greatly impacted public health. Therefore, showing Louis Pasteur's work to be of major significance in the 19th century, as it led to much more understanding and progress. So what I've just done with that highlighted bit there is just link it back to my judgment, and by doing that I'm also linking it back to the focus of the question as well, which is your AO2. Okay, so that's the first part of the essay. I've done my agree, I've done my mini judgment. Next part of the essay, I'm going to disagree or challenge the statement. However, so if you're disagreeing, there's a phrase you can start with, or to challenge the statement. However, it can be argued that much more progress took place in the 1900s. So again there, I'm focused on the question and I'm linking it back to my intro judgment. So I'm being consistent there. With regards to the cause of disease, due to the work of Franklin, Crick and Watson, AO1, sorry about that, people began to realise that bacteria was not the only cause of disease and therefore other factors needed to be explored. This led to research in DNA and helped to develop an understanding of the structure of DNA. This work has led to the realisation that not all illnesses are caused by microbes and some are the result of genetic conditions. Loads of AO2 here. Leading on from this, the Human Genome Project, that's AO1, has led to the identification of specific faulty genes causing illnesses such as breast cancer, therefore allowing cancer to be caught at an earlier rate, meaning it will be more treatable. This has been a significant development in understanding the cause of disease. So trying to link it back again to the question. Loads of AO2 being unpacked in this bit, leading on from this, therefore this has been significant. This has led to. Human Genome Project would be AO1. And you could probably start to see now, I've probably got 6 out of 6 for my subject knowledge, but you're still working with your AO2, you've still got your judgment to go. I've done another paragraph on this. I mean, you don't have to have equal paragraphs. I'm just showing you for modelling purposes. You might have 2 to agree and 1 to disagree. You might have 3 to agree and 1 to disagree. it's really up to you and what you think to be true, really. Right, further scientific work in the 20th century has also led to the understanding that environmental factors and lifestyle choices are responsible for causing disease. For example, smoking and lung cancer, alcohol and liver disease, obesity and heart disease can all be caused by external factors. All of that is AO1. This has led to the government to intervene, spelling error there, sorry guys, to intervene in the form of the creation of new laws and prevention strategies, but due to increased knowledge about the cause of disease. So again, even though prevention isn't cause, I've linked that we're able to get more prevention strategies because we understand that there are now other causes of disease. So as long as you're linking it in, because cause of disease is in the statement, then you're okay. Last thing to come then is a justified judgment. You know, and a good judgment will get you at least, I think a good judgment can get you at least another 4 marks, and it all relates to your AO2, assessment objective 2. So on balance, both the 19th century and 20th century witnessed significant progress in understanding the cause of disease. Again, link back to the question. It cannot be denied that Louis Pasteur's germ theory of 1861 was the biggest breakthrough turning point of the 19th century, AO2. This is because it paved the way for future work in this area, displayed by Robert Koch, who identified the bacterium for tuberculosis in 1882. Get another little AO1 in there, which would then help to develop treatments. Alongside this, Pasteur's work encouraged individuals such as Joseph Lister to find better methods of treating prevention infection during surgery. Without Pasteur identifying the cause, so linking back to the question again, it could be argued that these developments would not have been possible, AO2. However, as we know, bacteria is not the only cause of disease. Therefore, developments by Crick and Watson in the 20th century are also paramount, important, for improving understanding of the cause of disease. With all that said, Pasteur laid the foundations for more discoveries as early as 1861, and maybe without this work, other discoveries in cause of disease may have been delayed. So that really is, a justified judgment. I have split it into 2. I've said, he's laid the foundations in the 19th century, so in the 1800s, and this has led to more significant discoveries in the 1900s.